Hi everyone. Today we're going to look at a little bit, I think, uh, the new concept to everyone for session monitoring or session related the secure codings. For example, if you want to manage the Python code to do the web session cookie management, then you need this somehow a web application in order to run a web. Well, first of all, it may not be really available for you guys needs to practice because a web server is usually a little bit sensitive applications. So today I'm going to introduce a Flask, which is a lightweight of web application developments. This Flask web application is a good environment for you guys can do some session related secure codings. Okay. So this slide shows lots of hands-on, a little bit heavier to someone. May not be really hard to some other students. But anyway, let's try to get some idea about this. There are two approaches for hands-on labs. The simpler ones is using Flask. A little harder one is we can make a real cloud server where we want to build Apache Web and PHP middleware and MySQL at the back end. So this is a little bit complicated and real production system approach. So this is not going to be considered in this class. But I want you to note that this is a real the way that you can do if you want to work on production systems. On the other hand, if we still want to do web-related secure coding and session management, then we better to do, for example, Flask. Then we need to install the Flask and also Pythons. There are two things that we could do. Mainly the difference is whether we want to include the MySQL or we simply work on the Flask. Today we will work on only this. Okay, so hands-on lab today for this. So we want to set up a Flask and then a little bit of the code so that you guys can see some of the web sessions. All right. So the real the web operation, these two approaches look similar, although the system operations, system environments are completely different. This is a real production system. This is a lightweight of somehow emulations, but it's not really emulations, but it works as web server. But we can do some of the Python exercise there. So today we will do some preparation, and next week using some Python to do some session management. Okay. This MySQL related things, I want to tip for this maybe later or may not be in this class. But I'm letting you know that this is a full set of the web environments as we do have here. See here we have back-end MySQLs and web server. Similarly, we have back-end web MySQL and then some of the web services. But for this, the class, we'll do this. Okay. So we're going to do this. In this the slide, I included everything, these two approaches. Not, of course, not this. Okay. Those who wants to extend this Flask approach, you can do that, but probably not in this class. When it comes to the database related work, then we may include this second options. We can simply install MySQL and then we can do some exercises. But if I do this together, then it may be really heavy duty to some students. So I do not want you to be backed off because of the heavy loaded the exercises. So simple hands-on lab. Okay, that's what I want to do. So we're not going to access a database in this class. Okay, but this is possible. This is really awesome hands-on. But we'll do only middleware terminal and client terminal. Therefore, we can see the web applications. Okay, so without further ado, we need to understand the Flask. I want you to recall the Flask that you have seen in your some lab of chemistry class. So exactly same ones. We call this lightweight web application framework written in Python, Flask. Okay. So it is designed to make getting started quick and easy. This is a good word, right? Quick and easy, with the ability to scale up to complex applications. Flask provides tools, libraries, and technologies that allow you to build a web application without having to do any hassles. Okay, so this is a good points. Flask is known for being minimalistic, always good, minimalistic, and it is flexible because Flask doesn't enforce a particular project layout or dependencies beyond what is necessary, and also Pythonic. It leverages Python's capabilities, and therefore it is possible for the Python developers. Flask is suitable for simple single-page applications, particularly web application, and RESTful API and microservices possible. Those who do not know what microservices is that It's not, of course, a macro service. It's a micro, but multiple microservices can work together. We're not going to build one big system to serve uh, client's request. But we want to make a microservices. Each small chunk of services can run perfectly, completely well, but they can also interoperate with the other services. So altogether, it could be big, gigantic systems, but each one of those are microservices, but they are interrelated. Okay. So you need to install first this Flask. See if I can help you some. Let's say Flask dot that, and then en, and then 3 dot installation Python version. I believe this is it. If you come this website, then there's installations, dependencies, virtual environments. So create environments. You can do this virtual environment, or you can simply do pip install Flask. So we're going to do, you can create the virtual environment to work this. Yeah, you can do this actually, but in our case, we want to make it a little simpler. I think we can practice this. Okay, so let's say I want you to bring up your terminal and see. I have it's a little bit complicated. Let's see. So here's what I want to come. Okay, so for 24, I want to get the path expression. Copy that path expression and cd. Then I have full 24. Right now I'm in one specific directories. Okay, so this is this course and in class and fall 24. And then I want to make a mkdir. To make it simple, install required packages. So what I want to do is I want to make a, let's say, Flask mkdir. So I have a Flask. I want to make it cd Flask. Right now I have nothing in that directory. Here I can do pip install Flask MySQL Python let's see, let's try to do this. So I have here Flask, and then we do Python 3 -m venv. It's a virtual environment, and now I want to make it in .venv directory. So I want to make venv virtual. I want, well, Python 3. Well, Python is okay, but Python 3, either way. I want to include the module venv, and okay, and then ls -a, then I have a .venv directory. So I can do cd, what actually I want to do as it is written there, dot space dot venv bin and activate. Then as you can see, I have virtual environments here, right? My prompt was this, but now in addition to that, I have this virtual environment. Okay, this is my virtual environment is ready. Okay, and then I want to make one simple file there. So what I can do here, I want to make, you can use any editor, your system, your platforms. For Windows users, I think there is a text editor available, right? Similarly, or you can use Paizo to create the Pythons, or I can do, let's see, I want to, you guys do a little bit of a Paizo, right? So you already know. So I want to bring Paizo here for you to get it. So this is a Paizo, and then new editor, and I want to make I want to make this, copy and paste here. So that is from Flask, import to Flask. Actually, I need to do return, because this is not. So I want to make an object of app. So app is a Flask create an object of Flask. Okay, So Flask app is created. And then if you want to see yeah, by the way, this is a Mac and Linux environment. Those who wants to do for the Windows version, if you do this is automatically. I think this is for the Mac users. But anyway, you could do something else. This is installation and navigations. We have a quick starts. So this is exactly what I have here. We're not going to learn Flask much, but trying to emulate something here. So this explains the first Flask class. So as I said, this is the object is Flask object is created, and then the route is a decorator to tell Flask what URL should trigger our function. So if we say this slash, then our router is on top. So when this web server is running, then that Flask runs on top of that the URL. If we have here something, for example, deeper, then it should say something deeper. I'll show that to you, okay? And then it returns HTML, the language, return page. Within that page, we can say hello world. So this is like a Python function. The function name is hello world. This function is activated when it comes to the top of that website. That's what it is. So if your web server, for example here, usually it is 127.1.500. If I hit enter, then it goes to the top of that. It is not yet activated, but if this is activated, then hello world will be activated. Okay, and then you should say here this is entry points. So if underscore name underscore equal main, then this app object can run. Okay, so first thing, this Python can run. When you run this Python, then this is the first thing that it can run. Anyway, we will save this. Save this as, let's say, Mercy 455. I think I have an in class here, and 425 and Flask. There, I want to call it, say, my Flask. My Flask.py. Save. So this is my Flask.py. When you come here, ls, my Flask.py activated. I mean, this is file saved here. Okay. Now I want to activate it. Where is my Okay, here. So I need to do Python in one terminal, Python and my flask.py. No module Flask. So what I want to do is I want to do this pip install. So pip install Flask, and then I run that program, my flask.py, the Python code. Then it works. What I did here, yeah, this is the command that I made, right? I run Python, and this is my Python source code, and serving Flask at my Flask, and then it runs on this. This is a URL. It asks me to, my URL is started. So when I access from, I want to make it smaller so that it should work. When I hit enter again, then it says hello world, right? So it shows that. But if I change, for example, deeper level, and then hello Dr. Yoon, and I save this, and if I want to do, so this is a reloading, okay? So if I reload my web server, then it is not found because right now I change it to deeper. So what you need to do is here /deeper and hit enter. Then it says hello Dr. Yoon. Okay, this is the URL. This is a URL, the IP address, colon. This is port number. Port number 5000 is fixed. / and deeper. After this is the top level of your web server. Top level of your web server, which is, this is top level. You can make anything under this, then it go there and runs this program. Okay. All right. This is very simple, right? But we can include more for databases, for example. Oh, by the way, this can run by this web browser. That's what we had, right? But at the same time, this can run by command line, curl. curl is a command line tool that's transferring data through this protocol, HTTP protocols. This is a URL, but command line URL. So we want to use a curl and option URL. So what I want to do, this is web server is currently running. This web server can be accessed by web browser, but at the same time, it can be accessed by another command line. So I can bring another command line here. Anywhere here, you can do curl and HTTP. The language is this. curl, and then yeah, here HTTP / localhost 5000, whatever that is. Okay, so HTTP : / You can do localhost or you can do 127.0.0.1:5000, and in this case deeper, right? Because we change the directory. Then it shows what? It returns hello Dr. Yoon. This is what I got from this web server, right? In command line. But if you do this from a web browser, then you can get it little fancy formats. So here you can do, let's say, and then you can make another, let's say, table and table row and table D, and we can say project TD, and then you can say Flask TD. Those who can understand the HTML, you may be able to see what I'm doing, right? And then budget TD, and then we can say 1 million. TD, TL, and then we can close table. Let's say like this, and I can save this. If I save this, then automatically this web, this is the Python, right? Python code is reloaded as a web server and get it ready. So when I refresh this web browser, then it'll be like this, project Flask, like that. And if you do, for example, border equal 1 and rewrite, then it'll be border may not, how can I set the border? Let's say this may not work. Why this is not working? If this is not, then it should work, right? Oh, something. Oh, this is Syntax, invalid syntax. What is invalid? What this guy said. Table tr td 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 tr td table. Save this. Oh, because of this. You know what? Because I have here double quote start and end. So this is a pairwise. This is the beginning and this is ending. If you want to do quote, another quote, then you better need to do single quote. I'm not sure this works, but let's see. So run that. It works. So here deeper. This should work. It's not working. If this is not. What happened? All of a sudden, but it should work. Uh, 200. I do not know why. HTTP was denied, access denied. You don't have authorizations to view this page. Let's see if I do the same thing here. Not deeper, but that. It should work, right? But a web browser is not working. This is returned, right? Table formats. Probably I want to do another web browser. Chrome, new Windows. HTTP how to fix. Just like for web designers can customize how 4.3 error looks like, so you might see different. Refresh a page. Double click the address. We can I want to PWD. We are in that Flask, right? So we can make another mkdir Flask 2. And I want to make a copy my Flask 2. And then I can do Python my Flask py. And what if I redo that? Maybe I think it's not really a big issue. I think it is if you use different. If you refresh this, it'll work. Let me finish. Okay. So it works. Okay, now we can include the database. Then you need to do MySQL needs to be downloaded and installed, and configurations, and define database, and define tables, and insert data into a table. So if your database is ready, then this Flask right now, having only one small the Python code, right? So that Python code is loaded, is ready to serve your HTTP request. The address for HTTP is 127.0.0.1 and the port number 5000. You can see this either web browser or a command line. Then you need to have a MySQL database up and running. MySQL can be downloaded and then install, depending on your operating systems and depending upon your processor. If you have ARM processor, then you can download it. You can click this. Intel processor, then you can click that. For Windows version, I think it's much easier than this. So Mac, we have a M1, M2, the new models, and then the old models. That is because of that. And then while you are installing this, I want you to remember the root password. Okay. And once you complete your the MySQL installation, then you can run your MySQL. For Mac users, you need to find out that binary directories of the MySQLs. So what you need to do is you can do /usr/local/MySQL. This is the media of your MySQL software /bin binary directory where there is MySQL program available. Then you need to type ./mysql -u and root -p, hit enter, then it asks you to enter the password. Then you can use the password that you set as you when you installed your MySQL. So keep that root password. Once you have MySQL, then you need to do from Flask, import to Flask. Remember that previous simple Flask, we use only this, right? Now we need to do Flask, JSONify, and import MySQL.connector, and do more and more. But as I said, this my data, the connection to MySQL back-end database is a little requires a little bit of the work. So I'm not going to ask you to do right now for today. Of course, you have to do the Flask, the lightweight of web services needs to be done at your side. That is the simple homework assignments for these modules. Not this the connection with MySQL, but I'm telling you that this is possible. It's a little bit of code, and do further. Okay. So what is the homework assignments then? Homework assignments is I want you to have this hello world, but remember that I ask you to your name, hello Mr. blah blah. Okay. Hello, Dr. John Yoon, as I demonstrated to you minutes ago, right? So this web page should be copied. So screenshot is needed. That is a whole thing that I ask you to do. That is your submission. Okay. All right. So this is the preparations for the session related secure codings. So session related secure codings will be done next week. How we can hijack sessions, how we can do some of the cookies that is built as you do web services. So in order to get that, now today we look at a lightweight of web application services. All right, so today is a little simpler ones, but probably at your side, someone may have a little bit of hard hassles, but follow my demonstrations, the lab that I shared with you. Okay? Have a good one, and I'll see you next week. Hey, by the way, this is the same the code, and I put there border equal 1, and I'm going to rerun my code, Python Flask, and when I bring my new, this is a new web browser, right? Previously the outline was I think brown, but now this is different ones. And 5,000. When I hit enter, then it gives me Project Flask budget 1 million. So this works, right? I can do even more. TL, TD, budget, and member member 5 members. And when I save this, so that's rerun. And when I rerun this, I have here member 5. So it works like this. Okay, so I want you to do this similarly. Remember that hello, your name, and then whatever that you want to do on your the table formats. Okay, let's say Harvey, or your phone number, or whatever that you want to do. Okay, in the table formats. That is your homework assignments. All right, I'm looking forward to your interesting the web services. Looking forward to that. See you later.